What is up, Axie fam? Today we have sort of a different video. We're gonna talk about a kind of a conspiracy I'm digging out. And it's not only conspirational, okay, there's some mathematics involved. I think I do explain my way pretty well. But let's get going, because this is something I didn't see anyone talking about. So, to understand the conspiracy, you have to get back to this post. This is a 2019 from January 21 post in the Axie Infinity Medium. They talk about the launch of land, and that is something I was not aware of. When they dropped land, it was an actual chest that you open, and all of the land had the same price, and you would kind of, get lucky or not depending on what dropped. Here are the prices for land. The Savannah crate costs 0.05 Ethereum. At this time, by the way, Ethereum cost $100. So you can kind of get an idea of how much money people made if they actually bought at the release. It's actual insanity. The Forest crate costs 0.16, so it's almost 3 times more expensive. Then we get the Arctic crate, which is pretty much 3 times more expensive than the Forest one. And then we have the Mystic crate that is 2 times more expensive. It's very important that you guys remember these rates of increase, right? So we have a 3 times increase, then a 3 times increase, then a 2 times increase, meaning the Mystic crate was 20 times more expensive than the Savannah one when it dropped. And here's where my conspiracy starts. So, I mean, if I was Axie Infinity or Sky Mavis and I designed land and I created these ratios of price difference between them, I had to be basing myself on something, right? Even if they actually didn't think this when they dropped, they still have the chance to make it at least like worthwhile for people that spend 1 Ethereum at this time to, get 20 times the gains or something close to that than the Savannah one, right? It wouldn't make sense that someone that got the Savannah crate and just got like a random Savannah plot would make like half the money that someone that has a Mystic land does. I guess that makes sense, right? Obviously, my guess here is that there is a correlation to how differently these lands were priced to how much ROI you will get with each type of land. And obviously, there's going to be several ways to use land. There's probably going to be some skill or at least some foresight involved in how much money you can actually make from the land that you have. But I think that there has to be some sort of correlation. And here's the thing. When you look at the prices of land right now, they are completely different. I guess not completely, but they are the rates are very different from the original ones. And I think a big part of that is speculation, right? People just want to make sure that they got their money's worth. And some people bought land 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and some people bought their land 6 months ago, and maybe they paid more than it's actually worth it, and they still want to try and make money out of it. So they are all listing that land for a high price. So let me show you guys one thing here. This is the average price of each type of land based on the 20% cheapest land available for each sort of land. This is the price for Savannah, this is the price for Forest, this is the price for Arctic, and this is the price for Mystic. And do you guys remember? Savannah was supposed to be 3 times cheaper than Forest. And when you look at this, it's a little odd, right? Also, Forest was supposed to be 3 times cheaper than Arctic. And I mean, it's not even half the price right now. But one thing that actually stood the test of time is that the difference between Arctic and Mystic is pretty much double, right? This is something that really stood out to me when I was looking at the average price of land right now. And I have a theory, and that's when, we're totally out of any basis. And this is pretty much just me, all right? So take everything I'm gonna say right now with a grain of salt, but just think with me for a sec, all right? Imagine you want to, manipulate the market, or imagine you just want to make money. What is cheaper to do? And also, what is less risky to do? You can either buy Savannah or Forest, that are very cheap. You buy a lot of that. You buy just like, you just see anything and you buy and you buy and you buy and you buy, and then you list everything that you bought for a higher price. I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe you could do that with 20 ether and you could buy like 20 plots of land, right? 20 savannas or 20 forests, because that's the price they were selling around that time. If you wanted to do that with Arctic or Mystic, let's say you're gonna do this with Arctic. 6 months ago, the price of Arctic was still like relatively high. It was about 3 to 4 Ethereum. So if you wanted to buy 20 Arctics in a way so that you could artificially increase the price of Arctic, you would need 3 times more money. So my theory is that Arctic and Mystic, because they are harder to manipulate just because they're more expensive, are probably priced much better than Savannah and Forest are priced. That's to say, I wanted to buy land, all right? We all know that land is going to drop in, 2 to 4 months, let's say. And with land dropping, I think there's going to be a lot of eyes into Axie Infinity, especially whale eyes. And in my head, I was thinking that if I bought either, a Savannah or a Forest, I could still make my money back, even though it costs 4 Ethereum right now, compared to the 0.05 that it was created, just because everyone was going to be super hyped about it. But here's the thing. When they release land, depending on how they plan to do it, let's say they actually make an announcement saying, we are going to release land, this is how it works, and then they kinda map out the ROI for Savannah, Forest, Arctic, and Mystic, even if they do it very broadly with, broad strokes. It could completely backfire, right? Because considering I'm right and Savannah and Forest are overpriced because people, more people could get access to it and they all inflated the prices, once everyone knows how this works, the prices will drop, right? And those whales, they would usually just flock to Arctic and Mystic anyways, because it's more, you have way less. I think if you go back to the post here, you can see that we have half the Mystics based on Arctic, and also there's less Arctic than there is Forest and Savannah. I think in the short term, Savannah and Forest are overpriced, and I think that buying them right now is very risky. Obviously, if Axie Infinity still keeps growing, the sheer, just by more players joining and the fact of land being very static, right? There's going to be more drops of land, but from what I heard, we're looking at a 1.5 to 2 years time frame until more land drops, which means that, if you buy Savannah right now with the mindset of profiting a year from now, you could still make money out of it, I think. Because, more players, there's going to be more buying pressure onto land, and even if it's poorly priced right now, the price would increase naturally just because it is a scarce resource. Right now, though, I do not think and I do not recommend buying Savannah or Forest. Once again, I have no insider information. I'm just a guy with a lot of free time. This is the conclusion that I came to. I think if I had money, I would buy either Arctic or Mystic now, because I think there's still room for it to grow due to, everything that I talked about. And yeah, I think this is it. I do not recommend, I think, buying Savannah or Forest right now. If you just want to, get it and sell it in 2 or 3 months, I think it's risky. You could make money out of it, in 3 months. Someone might make a video just talking about how dumb I am. I think Savannah, out of everything, is probably the one with the more inflationated prices. But, it's really hard to say. This is just my opinion. Thank you very much for watching. This is kind of a shorter video. And join our Discord server, all right? We have a bot that has an exchange, a ronin dex. So if you're tired of wasting money on MetaMask, you can actually exchange money with us for a cheaper price. We also have an R1 and R2 filter that will allow you to just find axies much better than you can do in the marketplace. We have an alarm bot that allows you to, be notified when a good bot is listed. Also, obviously we don't auto buy that because that's illegal, but you're going to be notified, and if you want to buy it, it's very quick for you to just click the link and buy it yourself. And yeah, our bot does a lot of things. There's new features coming out, and we also have an amazing community in general, so you can just join us. We do not really talk about scholarships, so if that's your thing, maybe don't get there, especially if you want to be a scholar. We have a lot of managers, but it's just not our thing. Like I have a very private and small scholarship program. I don't really announce it or anything because it's a lot of work and it's not really my thing. But if you like breeding, if you're high MMR player, just come in and let's have an awesome conversation. Thank you very much and have a good one.